What if humanity became an interstellar species? Imagine, for a moment, that the world as we know it is on the cusp of transformation. For thousands of years, humanity has been bound to a single planet, a delicate blue world suspended in the dark vastness. Earth, with its green forests, swirling seas, and sprawling civilizations, has cradled our dreams and challenges in equal measure. But what would happen if, finally, we broke free from our planetary cradle and became an interstellar species? The journey would not begin with a sudden leap, but with countless incremental steps, the culmination of centuries of scientific endeavor, visionary thinking, and hard-earned progress. It starts with our first faltering movements into the deep solar system. The construction of permanent settlements on the Moon and Mars would act as launch pads, not just for spacecrafts, but for the very idea of life beyond Earth. From these new frontiers, humanity would gaze at the points of light that dot the night sky, not as unattainable mysteries, but as destinations. Our first interstellar journey might target Proxima Centauri or another nearby star. The undertaking would require technologies unimaginable in today's terms, propulsion systems that could propel vessels across the 4 light-years of seemingly infinite emptiness that separate us from our nearest neighbor. Perhaps we would build generation ships, self-sustaining arcs designed to drift among the stars for centuries, where the people who first board are the ancestors of those who arrive. Or perhaps we would develop methods to warp space itself, bending the fabric of reality to shorten the journey and make the impossible feasible. Either way, the road to becoming interstellar travelers would transform everything it means to be human. The first discoveries would be humbling. A new solar system, with its alien sunlight cascading across unfamiliar planets, would challenge our every expectation. Each planet or moon would be a testament to the diversity and creativity of the universe, a reminder that we are only a small part of a grander whole. We would stand on new worlds and see unfamiliar constellations twinkling overhead, realizing that Earth's sky is but one perspective among billions. The practical challenges would be as daunting as the philosophical ones. Agriculture, medicine, culture, even language would be forced to evolve under the pressures of extended timescales, new environments, and profound isolation. On a generation ship, life would be lived in artificial habitats with recycled air, hydroponic gardens, and the constant knowledge that the nearest home is years, if not decades or centuries, away. Culture would adapt. Traditions and holidays rooted in the cycles of Earth's seasons would be reinterpreted or replaced with new rituals inspired by the rhythms of interstellar life. As humans spread from one stellar system to another, new colonies would begin to diverge. Generations raised under different suns, perhaps on worlds with lower gravity, different atmospheres, or even beneath the reddish glow of unfamiliar stars, would look back to Earth and see not just the home of their ancestors, but a legend, a distant memory woven into their myths and stories. The politics of an interstellar humanity would be complex and sometimes contentious. Communication, limited by the speed of light, could take years to cross the gulfs between worlds. Messages from Earth to Proxima Centauri, for instance, would require a round trip of nearly 9 years. Coordinating law, trade, or even shared culture would become an enormous challenge. Some colonies might choose to remain in close contact with Earth, while others may assert their independence, evolving unique civilizations that reflect the challenges and opportunities of their new homes. But the benefits of being an interstellar species would be immense. The first, and perhaps most important, is survival. Earth faces natural threats, from asteroid impacts to supervolcanoes to climate change. An interstellar humanity, distributed across vast distances, cannot be wiped out by a single catastrophe. Humanity, once vulnerable, would become resilient, hedging its bets across the cosmos. Life, for the first time, would tangle its roots, not just in one soil, but in many. A cosmic insurance policy for our species, and perhaps our planet. Technologically, the leap to interstellar travel would demand an explosion of innovation. New forms of energy, advanced artificial intelligence to manage ships and colonies, breakthroughs in biology and materials science, every problem solved to send humans to the stars would echo back, improving life everywhere. The technologies invented for surviving the rigors of deep space might one day transform the way we live on Earth. Ultra-efficient energy systems, advanced recycling, new medicines to heal the sick, and perhaps even ways to extend our lives. The prospect of encountering other life, even if only microbial, even if evolution has taken a very different path, would provoke new waves of scientific, philosophical, and religious exploration. Would interstellar humanity find that life is common in the universe, or are we alone? If so, how would we cope with the responsibilities of being the only known torchbearers of conscious thought? And what of communication between far-flung human outposts? Imagine a message, carefully crafted, traveling across decades of space, a beacon of light crossing billions of kilometers to reach a distant settlement beneath an unfamiliar sky. These messages would be time capsules, a snapshot of old ideas, hopes, and dreams arriving at new shores. Over centuries, these lines of contact might weave a tapestry of shared history, some points connected, others drifting farther apart. Eventually, the unity of a single species may give way to the beautiful, complex polyphony of many cultures, each shaped by their unique circumstances, all descending from a single origin, yet wonderfully distinct. The social impact of interstellar colonization is harder yet to fully imagine. What would it mean, for example, to be born on a ship in the endless void, never feeling the wind or sunlight of a natural planet? Or to grow up on a world where the sky is not blue, but tinged with the crimson of a red dwarf, or the faint glimmer of a distant sun? New art forms, music, and literature would arise, inspired by new environments and shaped by the challenges and dreams of life in deep space. The experience of being human would become more varied and more profound. Human identity itself would evolve. The idea of nationality, based on lines drawn upon a single world, would seem quaint. Instead, people would identify by star system or planet. Surnames might reflect the ships or habitats where one's ancestors first settled. A new interstellar mythology, stories of great journeys, heroes who risked everything to bridge the stars, and wise explorers who mapped the unknown, would give meaning to this new chapter of the human saga. The quest to become an interstellar civilization might also change the way we look at the universe. As we explore more worlds, finding sterile rocks and fertile planets alike, we would begin to see the cosmos for what it is. A place of infinite variety, both beautiful and perilous, where life is precious and fragile. We may come to believe that, regardless of whether life is rare or abundant, it is our duty to nurture and protect it wherever we find it. The spread of humanity may be seen not as conquest, but as stewardship, a responsibility as daunting as it is inspiring. Our art, too, would reflect this. The great novels and paintings and symphonies of our interstellar age would be shaped by the tension between loneliness and hope, distance and possibility. They would tell stories of home and exile, of longing for lost worlds and forging bonds in new ones. These works would be vital, helping scattered humans remain connected to each other and to the legacy of shared memory that binds us all. The philosophical and existential questions raised by interstellar expansion could be profound. If the distances and differences between colonies grew ever greater, how, and even if, would humanity remain one species? Might genetic engineering, tailored to survive on new worlds, eventually produce differences as profound as those between Earth's original hominids? Could love, friendship, and meaning persist across the vast gulfs of time and space? Or would each new outpost inevitably drift toward isolation, both culturally and biologically? If humanity endures for long enough, thousands or even millions of years into the future, the possible destinies multiply beyond imagination. Some colonies may fail, while others thrive in unexpected ways. A world settled by a small group of pioneers could become a center of culture and learning. Others might regress, cut off from the technological and social advances of the rest of humanity. Some descendants of humanity might even lose the memory of their origins, piecing together their identity from ship records and oral traditions. Yet, in all likelihood, humanity's drive to explore, to adapt, and to create would persist. New technologies may shrink the distances and blur the boundaries between worlds, at least for data, if not for people. Advances in artificial intelligence could allow mind-bogglingly advanced communication and travel. While time itself would always place some limits, the ingenuity of our species would find ways to counteract isolation, building bridges of understanding where physical links cannot exist. In time, we would reshape not just the natural worlds we encounter, but the very concept of civilization itself. Cities may sprawl beneath domed habitats on icy moons, or within orbital rings encircling alien planets. Some groups may choose to live in cybernetic or virtual realities, freed from the constraints of biology and gravity. Others might prefer harmony with nature, embracing slow cycles and natural rhythms, seeking peace among alien forests and silent deserts. Religion, too, would adapt. Some might embrace the idea that humanity's expansion among the stars is a fulfillment of an ancient destiny, a spiritual imperative written into our hearts. Others may see the stars as a sacred trust, a mystery to be revered rather than conquered. New faiths may arise, shaped by the unique challenges and wonders of deep space, folding old myths into new frameworks and weaving fresh narratives that resonate with the realities of interstellar life. Amid these changes, the experience of the individual would remain central. The joys and struggles of life, birth and death, love and heartbreak, hope and disappointment, would echo across light years, connecting us even as we drift apart. For every adventurer who gazes wistfully back at the receding blue dot of Earth, another would press forward, dreaming of the next horizon, the next discovery. The human story, once limited to a narrow slice of desert and forest, mountain and plain, would now unfold across 100 worlds and more. Turning to the cosmic scale, the spread of humanity would also leave traces for others to discover. Radio signals, mathematical probes, and perhaps monuments left on empty worlds would broadcast our existence far beyond the reach of our own bodies and minds. Future travelers, whether human, machine, or of other origin, would encounter the artifacts and stories we leave behind. They, too, would grapple with the meaning of crossing the great void and carrying the flame of life from one oasis to another. One enduring question would echo from the lonely darkness. Are we alone? If other civilizations exist, would our expansion lead to first contact, shaped by curiosity, fear, or cooperation? Would humanity's spread be halted or accelerated by the knowledge that others, too, have crossed the stars? The answer could shape the destiny of not just one species, but life itself. If for long ages we find only silence, that too would bear meaning. We would become, in some sense, the universe's own attempt to know itself, to awaken consciousness in scattered corners, lighting beacons where otherwise there would be darkness. Perhaps that, in the end, is the greatest value of humanity's interstellar journey. Not simply the survival of our kind, but the act of creation, the forging of new stories under distant suns. Back on Earth, the cradle of our civilization, the transformation would be profound. The knowledge that our descendants walk alien landscapes, look out at unfamiliar stars, and live lives written in the ink of cosmic possibility would inspire new generations. Children would dream of voyages not just to another continent, but to another world. Every effort to cherish our home world would be laced with the humility and perspective of those who know what it means to leave, who know that the universe is immense, but that all life has an origin, a history, and a fragile beauty worth protecting. At the same time, the expansion of humanity among the stars would force us to confront difficult questions about ourselves. What responsibilities do we bear to the worlds we visit, to the life, emergent or ancient, that we find there? How do we extend the circle of moral concern to the beings, human or not, who share the cosmos with us? As our technological power grows, so too must our wisdom, our empathy, our sense of stewardship. Our future, once constrained by the boundaries of a single world, would then become an open question, a tapestry of possibility woven across the heavens. Our stories and dreams would echo from star to star, from world to world. Whether in triumph or tragedy, curiosity or caution, The spread of humanity among the stars would become our greatest experiment. In the end, if humanity were to become an interstellar species, we would be more than travelers. We would be creators of cultures, of technologies, of meaning. We would shape the future not just of one world, but of many. Each new dawn, whether on an alien beach, inside a spinning habitat, or beneath the light of a strange sun, would be a testament to our capacity to imagine, to endure, and to hope. The universe would become not an empty stage, but a partner in our journey. Together, across the ages, we and the cosmos would write a story of exploration, connection, and wonder, a story without end.